What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another video for you guys. Now listen, I can't believe that I'm still talking about this whole idea of immigrants thinking that Black Americans were immigrants as well. This conversation is still being had on social media. There are still videos being posted about this, which is insane to me that this is still a topic and that there are Latinos and other people who really believe that Black Americans were immigrants is insane to me. So I have to bring it back because people are still talking about this, and I'm just shocked that they thought this, and it's mind-boggling that they can't fathom the idea that this isn't true, that Black Americans are not immigrants. They still can't believe the fact that that Black Americans are not immigrants. I don't understand where they're getting the information from, why they still believe in this, and why this is still a conversation, because we all know that we're not immigrants, but for some reason, Latinos and other people just really believe that we were, and they can't wrap their mind around the fact that we aren't. So I thought this was crazy, so I'm bringing it back. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below, baby. This is crazy as hell. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on that notification bell. Y'all know what it is. But let's get into this video. Let's revisit this because people just, they can't believe it. They can't believe it. Let's get into the video. Here we go.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like, Black Americans are next? They really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They try to get us up out of here. But I gotta say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because
Thanks.
Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting Black people as the bad guys. That's the default, to even get rid of Black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as Black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans.
Oh, baby, what's your thoughts on that? You know, because there are many people who agree with what he just said, and a lot of people who talk about that and saying that a lot, you know, and they call them tethers. You know, they tether themselves to the Black American experience and try to fool white America to make them think that they're foundational Black Americans when they're really not. What's your thoughts on that? I want to hear what y'all think about that, but let's continue.
So now people are trying to say that Black Americans are immigrants. Black Americans are the only people in the U.S. besides Native Americans that are not considered immigrants. Europeans, Asians, Latinos all came here to the United States voluntarily, whereas Black Americans came here by force. In order to be considered an immigrant, you have to take action and moving to another country. Black Americans did not take action. We were forced. That's why we call ourselves foundational Black Americans, right next to Native Americans. Black Americans have been here in this country since the 1600s, a lot longer than a lot of white American families that you see today.
Now people are saying that Latinos didn't know that Black Americans are not immigrants. Ciao. I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that.
We didn't come here for a better life. We came here against our will to give a better life to other people. Our history is different from yours. We are not here for the same reasons.
We are a nation of immigrants. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by settlers who came here and built this country from nothing.
The wealth of this country was built by enslaved Black people.
Trying to scare tactic Black people
that if they don't stand in unison with Mexicans and immigrants in this deportation, that we're next. Next how?
That was my question, honestly, sir. Next how? That was my question too, and I was a bit confused. I'm like, what do you mean? You know, and I don't know where this started from, but somehow they're still talking about it, y'all. They're still bringing it up. You know, the deportations have happened. It is what it is. There are a lot of other people who have come to this country legally who are against people immigrants coming into this country illegally. And it just is mind-boggling to me that they thought that Black Americans, I'm still on the fact that they thought Black Americans were immigrants. I don't know how they got to that point. I don't understand. Do you not understand what happened in slavery? Y'all don't understand all of that? But it shows you a lot of people do not really know the history of Black culture and the history of this country and what actually happened with Black people. A lot of people don't even know the truth. So they've been told a story or created the story. I don't know where they got the story from, but they're running with a narrative that was untrue, and they was shocked when all of this hit the fan that, oh my God. And then also the idea that they voted a certain way thinking that the people that were going to be deported were Black Americans. That's crazy to me. Foundational Black Americans. They really thought when they were referring to getting out the riffraff and getting the people who don't belong here, they really thought it was foundational Black Americans. That is insane to me, honestly. But let's continue.
That's how, y'all be talking about, well, we don't know the history about. Y'all don't know the history. Mm-hmm. We are citizens of this country that were brought over here forcibly by our ancestors, brought over here forcibly centuries ago. Our blood is in this soil. There is no next. There's no deporting us. There's no rounding us up. Like, what are you talking about? We not in the same boat. This ain't the same thing. ICE ain't looking for us.
Black Americans are not immigrants. We were here before the country was founded. My family was here before America existed. I'm not an immigrant. An immigrant implies that you immigrated. I did not immigrate. My family did not immigrate. Where did we immigrate from? I Googled it. Let's take a look. So I asked Google, are Black Americans considered immigrants? And it says no. African Americans who are descendants of those enslaved in the United States are not typically considered immigrants in the traditional sense. Here's why. Immigrants are generally defined as people who chose to move to a new country for permanent residence. The majority of African Americans' ancestors were brought to the U.S. through the transatlantic slave trade, a forced migration, not a voluntary one. They were forced from their homes and not given a choice in their relocation. I understand that the Texas school system is now trying to teach that slavery was forced immigration, but that's not what it is. No.
They on here talking about how Hispanic people thought that Black Americans were gonna get deported. That we're immigrants. I don't want to believe that.
I didn't want to believe it either, ma'am. I didn't want to believe it either, but I keep seeing this. It's mind-boggling. And you got to ask yourself, okay, so if we were to be deported, where are they going to deport us to? When we were born in this country, our ancestors are from this country. You know, we're deeply embedded into this country. Like where you wouldn't even know where to send us because we're from here. I'm mind boggled too. I didn't understand it either. That's why I'm talking about it. Let's continue.
Black Americans aren't immigrants. I keep seeing this all over TikTok where people are actually learning right now that African Americans are not immigrants. Mm-hmm. Our ancestors have been here for centuries. Mm-hmm. What are you guys learning? Who's teaching y'all? I am flabbergasted. My gasters are flabbered this week because people voted thinking the whole immigration situation was going to affect Black people first. Hello?
For Juneteenth, I need y'all to learn that Black Americans are not immigrants. Mm-hmm. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to. Okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be Black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about Black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants made this country what it is, but we are the building blocks, the very foundation. So unless you're Native American, you can't say nothing to me about that.
I mean, no lies detected. No lies detected. That's absolutely the truth. But once again, I was flabbergasted as well. I was shocked as well to hear this. I had to pause for a second in silence and just think, what in the hell? You know what I mean? It's one of those things that I just couldn't let go for a minute because I'm like, I know this can't be true. And there's many times where I said, nah, I don't believe they thought that. Why would they think that? You know what I mean? But apparently that's what they thought. And, they're finding out, but they're still in denial. They still don't believe it. They can't believe it. Oh, how could they not be? It's just crazy, y'all. But anyway, listen, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to let me know your thoughts, to be notified when I upload new content, y'all. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.